So welcome to the 0 to 100 Marketing Podcast. I'm Jophiel Silvestrone here with Ashley Contreras,
Hi.
Serena Anderson.
Hello.
We're so excited to have you guys here today. We're going to talk about marketing your small business online and offline here in Las Vegas. How can you build your business? How can you really rock it and crush it? And so we're going to go all the way from the 0 to 100. How can we actually get there, guys?
Yes.
So let's kick it off. What do you think, Ashley? What do you think, Serena? What do you think? How can you get a small business to really grow in today's environment online?
Social media is everything.
Social media is everything.
I mean, you're not just talking one venue. You got to hit all venues for sure.
Yes.
I mean, and if you're not even creating content that people care about too, though, I mean, that's one thing. Because you could push content every day, but at the end of the day, it's what do people want to see. So where is your marketing research? You know, where do you go in to see what people want, what the statistics say that people are looking at? I mean, we know AI knows everything, so how can we use those tools that exist for our benefit too?
I love that. Yeah. AI is huge as it's coming forward. So like to be able to use some of those tools to kind of find out and mine, like what are people looking for online today? I think that's super, super important. And place yourself in it. Creating content is everything. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. We're creating a podcast. So we hope you enjoy it. You know, there's so many places on the internet where you can find information. So if you come to us, hopefully you get some gems today. We really want to drop some gems that are going to help you build your business. So you're starting at the beginning. Where do you pick your name? How do you even come up with a name that people are going to like and enjoy? Do you just name it after your last name? Or do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do?
If you have a cool name.
If you have a cool name, that's true.
Yeah, I think it really depends. I think it depends on the type of business and what your goals are. If you want to create a brand that can stand on its own feet, you're creating like its own entity that maybe you plan to sell down the road, you probably don't want to call it like AB Construction or something or your last Smith. They do. But is that strategic? So just like back to the research and planning, what a lot of people do is go, oh my God, I have an idea, and oh my gosh, I want to be a business owner, and then they just start scrambling. Okay, good, put a website, and I'll just pick a name. But slow down. Do your business plan. People are like, oh, business plan, marketing plan. But that is what's going to really give you the roadmap, and it's going to make you successful. You're not going to get from here to New York just willy-nilly taking any direction and sign that you think might get you there. You're going to plan out that trip.
Right.
So make a plan. I know it sounds daunting, but you just take one chunk at a time.
The plan doesn't have to be crazy, right? Like you don't have to do the old school. I mean, you can find business plan structures online, but like you don't have to be crazy. Just write down some of your goals and what you want to achieve so that we can actually set a course. But when it comes to naming your business, like I think putting the right keywords in your business name is kind of smart nowadays because everything's all about like people are looking for something online. Like if you're a construction company or if you're a salon, like what Ashley owns, like how do you name it so that people can find it online? I think that's a super important thing to start with, at least off the bat. And also with your domain name, like what are you going to name your business so it matches up with what the keywords are that people are looking for?
Right.
I think that's super, super important.
Yeah. And two, on your social media handles, ideally you want all of those consistent. You don't want to have a different one. And that's also goes back to the research and development and planning things out. Because if you do use like certain types of keywords, they might already be super saturated. It might not be available. So you need to go check that. You might need to get creative and really come up with something that hasn't been out there so you can get that consistency.
That's so true. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, what do you think, Ashley?
And I think more than anything, if you're able to find something that maybe, let's say you've read a book or something that really inspires you, that really creates some kind of sparkle in your life, then why don't you use that and kind of go with the flow of what words could be used, what could create that same sparkle with people? How do you connect with whatever your name is or that like inspiration that got you there? How do you make that connect with your clientele?
I love that.
And if you can actually find something that can connect you with like even if it's a small niche, like you're set, and you should definitely go with something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like talking about like your passion, and like if you're super passionate about it and you love it and you really resonate with that concept, you fall in love with your business. And when you fall in love with your business, you wake up with an excitement every single day to work on it because it's like I'm building my dreams, baby. Like this is amazing. I get to do this, and it's not just like a job. It's not just like okay, I'm gonna go make a construction company. I gotta go make some bills happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's a real
that's
passion.
why quiet quitting is happening, right?
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
is actually like obsessed with what they do.
Yes,
They're
exactly. The
passionate
quiet
about
quitting
it.
is an interesting. It's like the kissing cousin of the ghosting. Like it's
Right.
just like
Right.
and I'm just done. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, when you're marketing and thinking about marketing, is you got to think about WIFM. What's in it for me? Because that's all your customers thinking about. The person that's looking to consume your information. You have 3 seconds to hook them. And if you're talking about you, all about you, people don't give a fly.
Yes.
You have to speak directly to them. Create your avatar. Who is your ideal, perfect customer?
Yeah.
What does she or he look like? What age? What demographic? Where do they live? And then when you're writing your copy, talk to that person.
Yes.
It can be answer their questions. Appeal to them, and then you're gonna attract those people, and that's also very hard for people to do because they're like, but what about if I could have gotten another different client or something, and maybe I'm gonna segregate people or something. But that's part of being niched out.
But you know something I learned. So I was actually working with social media with a company that did gluten-free pasta. I mean, how niche can you get more than that? You know, I mean, it's pretty, you know, I'm sure there's only a certain amount of people in the world that actually are extremely gluten-free or even love pasta. Because I don't love pasta, but I'm gluten-free, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter if you even have a lot of competitors or you don't. At the end of the day, there has to be something that separates you from the rest, right?
Yes.
And if you can find that one factor, you know, you don't have to get how many people do we have on the earth right now? You don't have to get everybody. You just have to have a small population that actually is connected with what you have to offer.
Yep.
That's all it is. And I mean, it doesn't matter what you have. If you can find that and you can give it to them, people are going to love that.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Your unique selling point.
Exactly.
Yeah, so crucial to really carve that out and to know that you're not trying to shotgun and hit everybody necessarily. You just got to hit your audience. You got to appeal to your audience and flesh that out. And I think when it comes to content, like that's really something that people can do a better job of, in my opinion. A lot of business owners, they get caught up in the minutia of the day-to-day. But like if they just have like a little journal where they can write down different ideas of how they solve problems for their customers, like that's a great way to create content. Whether it's a video, if you're making videos like this, or whether you're just going to talk into an Instagram post, or you're going to make a blog post, or any piece of content where you can answer those questions of the customers that you've solved their problems.
Right, you're bringing value at the end of the day, and
exactly.
that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Critical.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so that's how you get your business kind of started off. Like, what do you need to do to create a legacy? Like, what's the next level? Like, how do you take it to the next level? A lot of people are in the business. They can get their bills paid, but like, how do they make it to the next level? How do they actually level up and make something that is impressive? You know what I mean? How do we get there?
I think that's a good point, what you're asking right now. So it's funny because while studying the psychology of marketing, really, if anybody opens a book about the psychology of marketing, you're going down into people's needs, actual needs. So the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with it.
Yep.
I always tell my clients about this. Like, think about it. It's something as simple as like inclusivity. You know, if you and you will look at all those brands that are super successful, whether it's like new brands or brands about like, let's say even luxury brands do it. But if you can actually get people to not only want your brand because it makes them part of a club or it makes them part of like something bigger than themselves, but also makes them feel like they're, you know, they're cool, they're unique, they're in something they're a part of something. And you are actually using that inclusivity, which is a need that basically comes right after, you know, getting your needs of being fed and, you know, loved, taken care of. It's being inclusive and being part of a pack. You know,
yeah, that's so true, huh? Like, I think you're right. Like, humans, once they have those kind of common things covered already, like they want to reach out. They want to have like a friend group. They want to have a connection group. They have a business group. They have something that embraces them and feels like they're unique, they're special. And a lot of brands are successful. Like if you think about Supreme or some of these other brands, like they only create a limited amount, a run, and like they're only going to give you so many pieces. It doesn't matter if you want more pieces. You can only get
scarcity.
Scarcity, yeah, artificial scarcity. I think it's really cool. So how do we apply that to a small business? Someone who's just kind of getting started, like they're going through the motions, they're making money, but like how can we make it more exclusive so we can get those high level clients that we want, or you know, those big ticket items that we can sell? So I think that's an interesting concept to think about.
Well, I would say that I'll give an example of something that I've done is that I've created a inclusive program for women. And one of those things is a women's self-defense class.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's women that want to protect themselves more personally and professionally, and it's only for women. So right there already created it assessed a need that women have more chances of getting assaulted and hurt, and then it's all women coming together. So it's really taken off.
And I'm sure they feel like badasses as well, knowing what to do too. So it helps them.
Yeah.
It's dope. Yeah.
We are raising their ability to protect themselves and feel good about themselves.
So needed.
So needed. It's been so successful that the media actually picked up on it. We're going to be going on for 5 or 4 slots in the early morning of the 17th, and then they're running it all throughout the day. It's booked out every single time, and people are coming to me regularly like, when's the next one? When's that? I want to tell my sister, I want to tell my dad. And then we're doing a women's investors group, so only for women and for money, and again, another like-minded inclusivity, which I think is just vital. So what should other people do is good. It goes back to your niche, goes back to your avatar. So figure out what that is and then create that group. Do a meetup, do an Eventbrite, do weekly or monthly types of events to bring these people together.
I love that. Yeah. And what you're doing is it has like a timeline on it and like exclusivity. And so there's a real target to get people in the door to that.
Yep.
So there's like a drive and a force to that. So I think there's something smart about that, about laying down like, we are specifically going to serve this particular group, this particular time. You can get in, there's only this many slots. So it's like, it really drives the overall conversion rate, and people want to actually participate with your business.
It does.
It gets to know you.
And the other thing that I think is so freaking amazing about this is that I'm in real estate, right? So people might be like, oh, well, why are you doing a self-defense class?
Why are you doing a self-defense class?
Why are you doing how does that even relate?
It's a question.
It's a great question. And this is what is just the gold in this, is that you don't need to be a salesperson. You don't need to sell your stuff. No one wants to hear, oh, anyone have a house they want to buy or sell and blah, blah, like all that same garbage. No, create value. Give to the community. And guess what happens? You rise to the top.
Yes.
And there's
name
strategy
and giving, and that's what it's all about. So like that's what all three of us are, all business owners. That's what we're here to do. We're here to share our perspectives and any little knowledge or little pieces that may be able to help the audience out. So that's all we're doing here today. And through that, we're just building our recognition in the community. And that's what we recommend you do as well. Like just build yourself up through the recognition through the community. How can you give back? How can you donate time? How can you offer services to people that maybe are a little bit downtrodden or need the help? How can we do that so we can serve our community? Because it's about giving back as well as giving to ourselves. It happens as reciprocal. Giver's gain, as they call it.
I mean, there's always more happiness in giving than receiving, whether you believe that or not. At the end of the day, when you try it, it always comes back to you. And it could come back to you in like the weirdest ways too. But like that, when that applies to like a business, the more you are able to provide for your client, you will always see how it comes back to you in like the best ways. And at the end of the day, I don't know, I always say like, it's not just to me about payment or about like my salary or whatever the case. It's also about like that enjoyment that you get from seeing people happy for something that you provided for them, or even you were able to help them with. Because I mean, back when there was no money, people were just helping each other and, trading things or whatever. But I mean, you're helping, so.
Yeah, there's a super satisfaction. Like whenever you get like a review from someone or like glowing testimonial, like it feels so good. Like that's way better than money.
It's a
it really is.
Like kick
it
for sure.
It really is. Yeah, that's truly like the real pay, in my opinion. When you're doing this for the passion and for the love of it and for the feedback from the customers, like that's what feels so great.
Right.
So Serena and Ashley, you're both super positive. I love your energy. Let's talk a little bit about mindset and what is it required to be successful in business, and what type of mindset do you have to have day in, day out, consistently? What do you think?
To be honest, I read a mind-blowing book. Highly recommend. It's called The 5 a.m. Club.
Okay,
so this book, I mean, it's things you hear again and again. I mean, there is so many benefits of waking up at 5 a.m., having that time to yourself when the world is asleep. And being able to even just think about meditate on how you want your day to go. I know a lot of people nowadays are starting to understand what manifesting is, what all that stuff is, because there is a link between that, like, what we think about is what we create, right?
Right.
So when you wake up at 5 in the morning, this book is amazing, literally, because it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, you will understand it, and getting to see that, whether it's physical, like workout in the morning, or and these are things that literally every single personal development person tells us about. Now, have heard people say, well, waking up at 5 a.m. just isn't for everyone, and that is true. But if you were to try it, at least, it's like one of those things that they say, try it for at least, give yourself a certain amount of time to just try those things and see if there's a change in your life. Honestly, I don't know any person that has tried it and they hasn't seen a change in their life. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like their mental health, their their physical health, and there's even a saying in Spanish. They say like, in English too, early bird gets the worm. So it doesn't matter if you look into it. Man, like the benefits are endless. So that is a mindset shift in the sense of, for me, it's always being. I'm someone that's very emotional. I go based off emotion. I mean, I'm ADHD as can be, so I'm super. I used to be very like impulsive with my like what I wanted to do, what I thought about. Okay, let's just do it. Didn't really put the research in it. I just wanted to do it, right? But at the end of the day, allowing yourself time to say, okay, what are my goals for this day? What can I get done? What is not attainable today, but will be, later on? That alone has given me a great amount of a mindset shift, because now I'm more concrete with my thoughts, and now I am not fantasizing on something that may not be done until later, but I'm actually more concrete and just saying, okay, this is an emotional thing that I wanted to do, but maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do this thing that's a lot more logical. And we can all say, oh yeah, like we have thoughts and feelings that go into this, but at the end of the day, if you can just set yourself little like goals and things to do, it'll come one day. All of a sudden you're like, dang, like I got this done, and it's simple, but we make it much harder than it should be at times.
It's so true. Yeah, and I think that the getting up early, it's interesting when you compare how much you actually get done in a day.
Yes.
Like, it's really interesting. Like, you would think you could try to work later into the evening, and like, that's so weird, isn't it? Like, when you get up earlier, like, you just compare like days of when you got up earlier to days when you like stayed up later to try to do, and like, for whatever reason, even though it's the same amount of hours, you just got more done when you got up earlier. It just seems like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say that morning routine is super important. Taking the time to take even 5 or 10 minutes of doing a meditation.
Right. Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I don't want to. Like, that sounds difficult and hard. Get on YouTube. Just put in a 5-minute meditation. Do a guided one.
Yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, just taking that time to allow yourself to get in touch with your own mind really slows things down. Doing something of some movement is super important. Yes. Getting a walk in or getting some exercise in is super, super important. But I wanted to take it way back. I want to take it back to spiritual marketing, Joe Vitale. That was one of the things that you and I had discovered that changed my world entirely. And now that's been, I think, 17 years ago. So if anybody is out there and they want to go check it out, go Google search it, Joe Vitale, spiritual marketing. It's taking spirituality and business and bringing it together. A lot of what Ashley was talking about. And that everything is energy. Yes. Every thought is an energy. It can be quantified in physics.
Right.
So the more that you focus on certain things, the more it creates it. So if you're focusing on that deal that went bad, or you're focusing on someone that is being rude to you or being mean or whatever the case may be, the more you're giving your energy away to that, and the more you're not creating what you want.
That's so true.
So you got to keep your mind focused on what you want.
I totally agree with you both, and I want to take this into a practical way that I use it, and it comes to like when you're working with a deal with a client, like you focus on the end goal. You know what you want from them. You want them to hire you or to buy your product or your service. You know that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
So you set your intention for that, but you don't obsess about it.
Right.
Like, do not obsess about it. Do not talk to others about it.
Right.
Do not obsess about it. Like, I think it's super important. Do not spread the energy around.
Spread the energy.
You know what I mean? Like, it's such a weird thing to say, and like to be like, oh, is that really real or not? But like, it really does work.
Yeah.
Like, just focus on your attention on that and say, yes, it is going to be done, and then go about your day and let it go.
Yep.
And ultimately, you know what? At the end of the day, it's like again, I'm super into this as well. Understanding that gratitude and the feeling of gratitude towards something that you might not have, but if you do feel that gratitude, anybody that you listen to, any podcast, anything, I listen to it. I used to a lot, actually, Dr. Joe Dispenza, because he's actually being able to link and understand. So quantum and all that stuff, you actually start to learn, hey, everything is linked. So everything kind of makes sense, how there is connections between everything that we do, what we think. And I mean, just something as simple as understanding that, those like, if a person is thinking about a certain topic, let's say I'm thinking about a red car that I really want, more than likely you're going to see that red car more times than any other person that's not thinking about that red car, But at the end of the day, it's what you're saying is the fact that you are... How do we take it practically? Because maybe, you don't want to go too deep into like the whole quantum thing of it. But practically, yes. Just, it's like one of those things where you just got to try it and see what happens. And whether you believe it or not, it's going to keep on happening to you.
Right. It's so true, isn't it? Yeah. Whether you really know whether the rules work or not, it seems to work that way, doesn't it?
But gratitude is the highest form of energy, too.
Yes.
So. It's the highest vibration.
I love that.
The highest
vibration.
And
to truly be grateful for your life. Like, I think mantras is kind of part of that whole thing, too, as well. Like, when you meditate, you can use mantras, or you can just have mantras in your life. And just to say, like, my life is great. I love everything about it. I love my life. It's going perfect. Like, a lot of people will just drill on like, oh, why is things going so bad? Why is it's
not
just
lucky? Why didn't
people
that
don't like
work
me?
out?
And it's like really reinforcing those connections.
Right.
So I think and this circles back around to what we first talked about mindset, and like how do we really, really crank as a business owner with our proper mindset? It's like knowing like my business is successful. I love my business. I'm serving people. I do a great job. Like, people like what I provide. They love it. And so like you just going through that flow, and like every once in a while you may have to deal with an unhappy customer. I mean, that's business, right? It is business. That's life. But just shake it off, shake the dust off, and be like, okay, I'm gonna get back to it. There's still 90 people that love me.
And there's
you know what I mean?
There's to make things better.
That's true.
If there's still life, there's still an opportunity to do it.
That's true. That's true.
And I think one of the other things that's super critical is that taking full accountability for yourself, your life, and everything that happens. 100% accountability. I think that it changes people's lives, because so many people want to be like, they did it, it's him, then blame. And it's like, what is that doing for you? That's doing absolutely nothing. Take 100% responsibility and your life completely changes.
Right? You have control at that point.
Yeah.
You have the only ability, the things that you can actually change are the things that you are responsible for and say that you actually created, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yep.
And I know these are things that a lot of us will be like, oh, they're like probably shaking your head, and you're listening to us like, okay, yeah. But like, apply these things, really put them in. It's important to have a good foundation for your business.
Yes. I always find it funny how people are like so quick to be like, I blame my mom or my dad because of this and that. And it's like, dude, you were like 30 or 40, like, can you just like be an adult for once?
It's been a minute.
Like,
it's been a minute since you were even in that.
I mean,
let it go.
None of us had a perfect childhood. It's fine. Get over it. Like, forgive, at the end of the day, you're alive because of your parents, and just move on, you know?
Right.
Now it's your choice.
Now it's your choice, right. So I think being an adult is what you're saying. It's taking accountability, being conscious of your actions, and not saying like, oh, it's because of this or because of that, or even like, own up to your mistakes. Own up to like for me, it's I have to own up to certain things that are like being too quick about things, so I have to be a little more slow. But it's accountability as an adult.
Yep. Yeah.
How many people in your life can you guys really say are truly adults, like from the decisions they make? And you can tell easily like those people. So.
Are you owning it? Are you really truly owning your life? Both the flaws that you have and the things that are great about you. Like, are you owning both sides of it? Are you aware? Are you honest and raw with yourself? Like, I think that's just shows a great maturity, I believe. People that are really in touch with who they are, and they can look at it from all angles and be like, okay, this is who I am. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move forward. Like, these are the pros and the cons of myself, and I know that I'm going to play into my strengths, and I'm going to work on my weaknesses if I can, but I'm going to accept it all. Like, I think that's huge in life.
And sometimes it's not about even just changing it or even trying to move it around or deny something. It's more so, recycling a feeling or making it, because if it's energy, it cannot be destroyed. It can only be recycled.
That's right. First law of physics.
So at the end of the day, it's like being able to look at yourself in the mirror, and this is something not a lot of people can do, and I don't know if you guys have ever done it. It's super weird, but at the end of the day, it works. You look at yourself in the mirror and you are, you say, I love you, I accept you, and I kid you not, the amount of people that I've told to do that, I've had friends that are like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. Like, I started crying, and I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, dude, like...
That's more reason to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, one of the things that I always tell people to do is when you're putting your makeup on.
Exactly.
Tell yourself, you are beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're making good decisions, you're amazing, you're fantastic.
Because you're reprogramming your brain.
You are. Yeah. And the other thing is to add physical contact. So when I go up to give you a high five, what did you just feel?
I mean, your
give
skin.
me some too, though.
Yeah, like it's encouragement, right? Like it feels good. Like people on the team's like, good job, you got this.
Yes.
So do that as well on the mirror. You put your hand up onto the mirror, you put it up there, you look at yourself in your eyes, and you say, good job, you're fucking amazing.
Makes it more real, more connection, right?
Yeah, and it's your subconscious mind, because your mind knows when you get a high five, that's an encouragement. So when you do it to yourself, it hits it harder.
That's really cool.
I think as an adult who is conscious of those things, you understand that. There's a lot of people that say, oh, I didn't get that when I was a kid, or this or that. It doesn't matter anymore, because now you can give it to yourself.
Yep.
And by you doing that, you are your own biggest cheerleader.
You are 100%, and that's all you really have.
Right.
You are your only biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
Do not look for anybody else that's your biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
Only you.
I love that. What other tool? I think we're really discovering some really cool, great tools here.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this conversation. What do you guys think about other tools for manifestation? Like whether it's a vision board, or like writing your vision for your company, or writing your goals, or I don't know, like picking out that sports car you love and putting it up on just so you can look at it every day. What do you guys think about those types of things, or is there anything that really works well for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think for me, it's like what I was just telling you. I literally close my eyes and I imagine that I already have the thing that I want, to be honest. Let's say I want this car really bad. I'm like, okay, so I close my eyes. I literally can feel it in my gut. Like, I'm so happy. It's brand new. I don't even have payments on it, or I don't know, something. And I literally imagine the color, the way it smells, the first song I'm gonna play in that car, where I'm driving to. Is it on a trip? Is it something super fun that I'm gonna do? Who's with me in the car? I will do that in the again in the morning, first thing, and just allowing that gratitude to feel as if you already have it, and you just kind of let it go. It's not even something that you worry about, and you will never know. It can be the weirdest situations that'll get you there.
Right.
But they do.
Right. It's interesting, isn't it? How the direct route, the way that you were thinking in your mind, doesn't necessarily happen very often necessarily, but in a weird way you get there anyways.
Yeah, because you're
Isn't
allowing
that how the
room,
universe works?
and you're open to that,
Yeah.
and you're not just saying, because there's so many people that can negatively, without knowing, cut that from themselves because they're just so closed off to opportunity.
Right.
And it's so common to see.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't even want to open themselves up to say, hey, these things can happen. It is possible. They think that things are impossible, but the word itself is not, so.
Right. Exactly.
And I was just going to add to that is that when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up, those 15 to 20 minutes in that pocket of time is the best time to do those visualizations, to visualize it. And the reason is because your mind's in a theta brainwave state. So that means it goes right into the subconscious mind. And the mind doesn't know the difference of me picking this up right now or me closing my eyes, and visualizing picking it up.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
It's the exact same thing to the mind.
Yes.
And then if you do it during the theta brainwave state, even better.
Yeah, it goes
and then
into
it's just a matter of time.
Into that flow state, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and while we're on this subject, I want to share some other kind of interesting little techniques that I use that they may seem a little strange, but I love to, when I'm talking to a customer, I love to just send them love, and I'll even I keep a notebook by my desk where I always have a pen and a notepad whenever I'm talking to a new customer. I did this today, as a matter of fact. I had a new customer call me from Havasu, and I'm talking to her, and she has a vacation rental, and she's needing this help with her website and everything like that, and I write the word love. I write love, I write success. I know this seems silly, but these are just
it's not silly. There's a science to everything that you're doing right
Yeah,
there.
it's so crazy, dude. And like, and she's like, wow. She's like, I just love this conversation I'm having right now. Like, you seem awesome. Like, how can I give you my credit card? How can I start now? And she's like, oh, some other marketing person called me from VRBO Marketing yesterday, and he wanted to sell me a package. It was like $12,000. And I said, nah, I'm gonna call somebody else. And I was like, yeah, you called the right person. So like, we're gonna start now. And so it just goes to say that like, when you send out that energy to them, they become connected. They don't even know why. They're just like, I really like this person. I love this person. I want to work with this person. And it's all energetic. Because, you know, especially in that sales, like people are trying to figure you out. Do I trust this person? Do I want to give them money? Are they going to succeed for me? You know what I mean? So what do you guys think about that?
And that's something, it's a vibration that people, so I do the same thing, funny enough, but I don't, I actually have a therapy that I go to, and actually she literally always tells me, she's like, you have to close your eyes and imagine, let's say someone hates you for absolutely no reason, they just, you know, don't like you, whatever. You have to close your eyes, imagine, and this is actually from Einstein. So Einstein, and this is a letter that he wrote to his daughter. People try to like fight it, say it wasn't him, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, this letter actually, now that we understand love and the energy of love and the vibration, it makes total sense, because he actually states that love is actually the highest form of, sorry, it wasn't gratitude, but you know what I mean. Love is the highest form of energy, and at the end of the day, it has more power than any, what are the mushroom clouds? Sorry, the word slipped my mind.
Well,
if he said, if he were to replace E equals MC squared with actual love, he's like, basically, we all have like the highest form of energy within us and that we could create, right? So what I try to do, but at the same time, not all humans are, or even are open to the idea of that, or even believe it, right? So for me, she always says you have to close your eyes and imagine that you have a light inside of you. Imagine that your heart can grow a light, and that light literally shines through to the people that you love, the people around you, in your work, in the entire world. The person that doesn't like you, shine that love on them. And I kid you not, I mean, doing that thing has literally saved me, like, so much pain. It's literally caused people to treat me differently. I mean, this is something that I just went through myself. And so now, instead of being upset about a situation, I do what you just said. I close my eyes. I imagine that light of love shining on that person. And, like, something happens. It could be a day later, 2 days later, but that person starts treating me differently. Things change. Yep. I mean, they could ignore you for all that matters, but honestly, that might just be a good thing, you know? Yeah. So
I love the visual where you're talking about how the heart just shines out. And, like, you can literally, like, when you were explaining that, I could literally see how you visualize that and how it would actually literally, like a crystal, like the prism of, like, how the sun comes through a crystal and shines out that energy. Yeah, that's dope.
And you can actually have scans done on people that are meditating, and you can see, like, the aura and everything, but you can actually even see the energy fields that come from meditation and when people do that.
Scientifically speaking. That's dope. Yeah. But I think that's really important to bring that up, because a lot of people are watching, I mean, it can be called woo woo or whatever, you know what I mean, like what we're talking about, but there is science behind it. There's literal science and there's experience. I mean, there's also experiential data. Like you can try it out and give it a try. Like try it out in your life, see what happens to you when you start to send out this energy and this love into the world. And all of a sudden things are happening for you and opportunities are opening up and doors where you wouldn't have expected them to open. They open.
Right.
Yeah.
And something super, okay, let's just say, like you're saying, let's quantify it into something more mortal, more like, you know, layman's terms here. Here is something that I did. If you go on YouTube, you can actually Google this yourself, and you look up, and you can even do it at home. Let's say you have a lime, and you cut that lime in half. You put in one lime, you can put the words I love you, and then on the other one you put I hate you, you know, screw you, whatever. And you will see in a matter of a week, the lime that says I love you is going to be fresh, it's going to be fine. The lime that says I hate you or whatever, you're going to see it start like getting dark, rotting, you know, whatever. And they've done this test on plants, and they've made the plant listen to like really nasty, dark music and classical music or whatever.
Done it with water.
Water. I mean,
you can see it on a molecule level.
But it's like, if people were to see those things and like just realize what it does to, like, you even see it on kids, you know? I mean, Thomas Edison. I don't know if you guys heard the story of Thomas Edison. His mom actually when he came from home, from school, he brought his mom a letter, and the mom said to him, it says that you're a genius and they don't have any teachers at school to teach
too smart.
Yeah, because you're too smart, you know? So I'm going to have to teach you now at home. So obviously Thomas Edison became Thomas Edison. And then his mom passed away. When his mom passed away, he found the letter. So the letter actually said, your son is mentally retarded, basically, and we don't, and he's being expelled from school.
Wow.
But like, isn't that
Mom
like
just
flipped it all around?
She recontextualized it for him.
She's amazing.
That's
But-
and that's the only reason we know his name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, that's amazing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
His mom
she
would
planted
pull them?
that
We might not even have light right now.
seed. Yeah.
So true. It's so
Right.
true. And it that's very interesting contextually speaking, because that's exactly, if we tie it back into our businesses, when we set up the tone to do it the right way and to help people. And like you're saying, if we are a genius in our business and we truly believe we're a genius, then we become that, we manifest that for ourselves. And that's what we're here to do, is to help people and to bring that light to the world. So like, let's start it off on the right foot properly.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love the practicality of that.
The self-talk is
Yes.
so critical, and it's up to us to monitor our thoughts, what we're going to allow to continue to go through. And we've kind of talked about that several times through this talk today, which is fantastic, because that is ultimately the core there. It's what are you allowing to go through? Are you allowing your monkey mind to control you? And the other thing that I like to do is when I do my visualizations and meditations is I love sparkly stuff, and like when I start visualizing stuff, I can just see a lot of sparkly stuff, and so I'll create this vortex of energy, and I'll determine what that's going to be based on what comes up at the time of what color that is and the sparkles. Then I start to put in the people into that vortex, seeing their face, their body, seeing them coming together, and I like go through and look at them in their eyes and tell them, I love you, you're valuable, you're amazing, I forgive you. And I'll bring in more and more people, and it could be family, it could be clients, it could be anybody. And it feels so good during the whole thing and afterwards. It's like, wow, that's incredible. So I would recommend everybody to do the heart shining out, or whatever you feel guided to is what you need to do. But regardless,
And if
it's
you
beautiful.
really want to get into like the scientific backing of it, just go ahead and look up anything that's bioenergy, which is basically the understanding of what we're talking about, and in the scientific sense.
Quantum physics,
Epigenetics,
bioepigenetics,
all that stuff.
hypnosis, subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is operating 90% of our day. Our conscious mind is 10%.
I mean,
So if you think we are making all of our decisions, we're not. Our subconscious is.
yeah, but it's nice to be able to say, hey, like you're about to make a subconscious decision, but then you catch yourself and you're like, no, let me do it this way.
Let me rewrite it.
Whether it's something as simple as being lazy for the day, like just choosing. Because at the end of the day, if you are allowing yourself to be on a higher energy field, then you are going to make decisions that allow you to be productive, that allow you to help others, that are going to allow you to create what you're thinking. So if you do that, and also you're going to see how people or situations that are on a lower energy field are going to leave your life. So ultimately, it's going to allow you to consciously make decisions now. But it's one decision at a time.
Yeah, I think this is really talking about, like, when you're starting out a new business, there's so much that you have to get done.
Yeah.
And you can be like, you feel so exhausted. Sometimes you don't even want to do anything. You just want to take a day off. And like, one day off can turn into 2 days off, can turn into 3 days off. Let's scroll, let's just chill.
Mindless
like, you know what I mean?
stuff.
And you really, it requires a lot of self-motivation, because now you are your own boss.
Yes.
There's nobody, like telling you have to do this at this time or do that at that time. But ultimately, how do we get over that little tick in our brain that says, just lay on the couch and watch something, like just watch a Netflix series and just chill out. Like, and for me, it's like, when I get that urge to do that, it's just getting that first step going, like push through, get something moving, put on some music, or take a shower, or go to the gym, or get something
Take your
going.
vitamins.
Do something. Yes, exactly.
Okay, Jophiel, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What was the thing that actually drove you to have the actual, I don't want to say the backing, but more like the drive to create your business and what you do?
Yeah.
What was it in your life that impacted you so much that you said, no, I want to be a master of my life. I don't want to have a boss. I want to create my life. What was it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you so much, Ashley. So I started a business a long time ago, back in 2006, 2007. I was working a regular job where I had to go it was night shifts basically, and I had to work night shifts. And so I had a boss and I had to do that, like go and dedicate myself to this, but I wanted to be able to create. And so I knew some other people that had businesses and I wanted to like learn business. So I did little tasks for them. It's like just little things, just like a little bit of graphic design here, a little bit of marketing things here, go out and do something. Like back then I remember one of the very first marketing things that I did was make soaps and put little business cards in them and go and hand them door to door to people to market a cleaning business. And it was just like learning these little tasks. I didn't know,
guerrilla marketing,
it was guerrilla marketing, you know what I mean? And it was like, I learned it through that, just kind of like pushing myself out there. Yeah. And I had to like, when I first started this business, my current business, SkyPoint Studios, I would build websites in the middle of the night. So like 2 a.m., I would bring my laptop and I would get all my work done and I would be sitting there building websites in the middle at 2 a.m. And it's like I had this passion to like make myself into something that was beyond what I thought could happen through this particular job. It was just a job. Yeah. Like they were just paying me an hourly rate. And it was very, very hard in the beginning because it took a long, long time to actually be respected in the space for like people to want to come to me. And like there's a lot of trial and errors. There's times when you fail. Like when you're starting something out new, people are sometimes you're going to crash and burn. Like you're going to learn. You're going to have those hard lessons. And I went through those, you know what I mean? And I found out that over time, I got more and more into it and more dedicated and more passionate and more like obsessed. Like there's a certain level of obsession. Yes. And I don't know if it's like what you would call a healthy obsession. I think it's a healthy obsession. So. There's a certain passion I have for life, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I love people. I love communication. I love talking to people. Like I love this conversation. I love this energy. You know what I mean? So to me, it's
this is the first time we talk and we already agree on pretty much everything.
I love it.
I think it comes down to a lot of personality types. Like I'm on the board of directors for Toastmasters and do all that. And I just did a speech last week talking about where I've come from and how I've gotten to where I'm in. I've been self-employed for 17 years now. Yeah. And this one is like, oh my gosh, like how are you even like old enough for this, type of thing. And she had her speech and she's like, I don't want that. Like she's very much like an engineer type of mindset. Yeah. She doesn't want the risk. She just wants to go report, leave, be done. She's super happy with that. For me, I would feel like I'm dying. Yeah. I am dying. I can't do that. I got to be on the go. I got to have lots of projects. That's how I function. People even say to me like, how do you do what you do? Yeah. It's because I love what I'm doing and I'm driven. Have it any other way.
That's right.
Absolutely.
The passion and the vision. And ultimately, I think a vision for your life is super important. Like, what do you want to, like when you pass, what do you want people to remember you for?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of a actual achievement and accomplishment, how
you
you serve people?
Have regrets,
Yeah, exactly. Did you go for it or did you not go for
it? Exactly.
And for me, like, I have a vision, like, for my company, I look at it as like the Starbucks of web design because it has not been accomplished yet. There is no actual like part of the industry that's been put in a franchise type of model where you can go, say you go to Florida or you go to Seattle, you get the exact same experience. So that's my long-term vision. I actually know exactly what I want to create. I have a location in Billings, Montana. I have a location in Las Vegas, Nevada. I have a location in Havasu, Arizona. I have customers calling me all the time. I have a customer called me today from Havasu. Customer called me yesterday from here in Vegas. These leads, they come in naturally just through my marketing online. And that's why you should subscribe to this podcast. Because, because this is what we're going to do for your business as well. Yeah. Customers are just going to call you. This is just going to be natural. And what my goal and my vision is to give the exact same experience, whether you're all the way across on the East Coast or you're on the West Coast, you're going to get the exact same experience. Synchronicity, yes, and high quality and communication and love. Yeah. Ultimately, that's what it is. Yes.
I mean, that's the life force of creation ultimately.
Yes.
So whatever it is that we're creating, whether it's a baby or a business, it is what it is. It's still love. Yeah. So if you put that into it, that's all that you're gonna bring back.
So tell us about your baby. About Thomas Edison, I think is a great segue because it's all about lighting. So tell us about your lighting business, Ashley.
My lighting business. So my goal is actually, that's great. So I come from a father who was an architect, a mother who was an interior designer / actual cosmetology, hair design, all that stuff, right? So my brain works very right side, I'd say. I think music helped me to be a little more left-sided, but I'm still on the right side. I love making things beautiful. I love making spaces beautiful because I think at the end of the day, it's super important to be in a space where you feel happiness. And I mean, if you look at any marketing, anything in life, what makes and drives more success is when it's a space where you can create happiness, right? So if I can bring happiness to someone, and let's say I've had a client that wanted me to create like their brand in a neon sign or a metal with like a background that's like LED lit, and it's not even just me creating it, but at the end it's like, look, it's in your wall, and like I want to see that person's reaction.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy, it's so beautiful, it literally makes my day just being in this room and looking at it. Like, that to me is awesome. Because, it's like, so I believe in something called Ikigai. We've talked about it. And for me, it's like, I was so lost at one point as to what I wanted, because same thing, I have been working in an industry that is super rough. I didn't have a life for a lot of time because all I did was work. So for me, it was understanding, like, I needed to have something that I'm actually passionate about. Ikigai actually is a Japanese concept that brings in your passion, what you're good at, what you can, create an income with. And it's also going to bring you a happiness at the end of the day. So for me, that was super important. And I mean, it's a word that resonated literally in my soul. Because it doesn't matter what I do believe that the greatest value is in me being able to bring value to others. So, and that is, sometimes it's our purpose. We have to find our purpose, right? So whether it's something that relates to work or your personal life, it's still going to relate, because it doesn't matter if, some people say like, oh, everything is separate. No, your relationships and your job are going to mimic each other in some ways, or they're going to, whatever the case may be. So you have to have, a balance there, or even just happiness in everything it is.
I love that. Yeah. And I think there's a wheel that we can look at this, like our career, our relationships, our family, and like we want to have that kind of complete, like at least balanced out. It doesn't have to be 100% in every single category, but
I always hated? I hated when people said, you spend more time at work than you do with your family. And that is true when you were not self-employed. But at the same time, it really shouldn't be that way, not all the time. And if you can create something that allows you to spend time with the people that you love, with your family. I mean, my dogs, if I could spend more time with them, that kind of thing. It's honestly, that to me is passion. Because now, what if I can bring my family, my life, my dogs into what I do too? I don't know, when there's a will, there's a way. So let's figure those things out, right?
Yes.
Of bringing those passions
It's not just
together.
Money, it's time
Exactly.
that we're earning.
And not trading time for money is key for me.
Yes, the happiness.
Yes.
Yeah, so agree with that. I so agree with that. And you love making spaces beautiful. You love creating really dope-ass signs. So, like, I love that about your business. And I think that really segues well into what Serena does, because Serena finds people's homes. So it's like you guys have a really nice like complementary business. So you're finding people homes, you do marketing for people as well. So like, and you both, in Ashley, you do marketing as well. So like you guys have that great kind of that nice little apex where you guys come together, and you're finding people homes here in Las Vegas. You can make the homes look beautiful with really dope ass wall art.
Yeah, so commercial or residential. Yeah.
I love that. So talk a little bit more about what got you into being a realtor and your marketing that you do, Serena.
All right, cool. So let's see, like I mentioned, I've been self-employed for about 17 years now, and my past has been in marketing, advertising, PR, my degrees in PR, so on and so forth. So I am the real estate queen here in Las Vegas. I market businesses as well as homes. We do residential and commercial. Marketing is a foundation of all businesses. It doesn't matter if you're in real estate marketing homes or a company. It doesn't matter. It all overlaps. And I've been doing this for a lot of years. One of my specialties is creating an event or a business that has something that makes it newsworthy, and then getting it out to the news. So for an example, like I mentioned, Channel 8 is going to be highlighting one of my events that we've created, and that's huge. In some of our past businesses, we've created a organic carpet cleaning business, and we got news press. We created a software development company that was super unique and different and special and got a ton of press. So that's been my common theme in my life, and what I think is so important, because people can sit there and scroll on social media. Yes, you need to be on social media. That's important. That's amazing. But content is king, and being in the content's even better.
Yes.
And having someone else talk about you is even better. And someone that's high in our community, which is going to be media outlets, and in their content, not on the side, not the banner that you paid for, but in the actual content.
Yes.
That's what we do. So that's what we help other people with.
I love that
as well.
Why don't we brainstorm a little bit on how does a small business owner get themselves in the press, and how do they get like the recognition of it? Any thoughts on that? And like, how do we get people's eyeballs on like what we're doing? Like, especially on social media nowadays, it seems like sometimes it can be like a wasteland. Like you post to Insta or you post to Facebook, and like if you're not like buying ads, or if you're not like buying click farms, like how do you get yourself to like look like you have activity and like people are actually interested in your content? That's a great question, I think.
Well, I would say that it's finding some way that something that your business does that you can do something that would be newsworthy. So something you can do is look at different news headlines, see if there's been some sort of issue or problem. So I'll tie it back to this example, was a real estate agent got attacked again, another attack.
Oh, wow.
Now it's been about a month and a half ago in a model home.
Oh, wow.
And I have a strong passion for self-defense and protecting myself because I've been assaulted myself. So when I saw that, it was like, wow, that really sparked something special. So you got to listen also to your intuition. It's back to our mindset and intuition as well. And when you do those morning routines and you do things to align yourself with your passions, you're going to be naturally guided to certain things. But anyway, so it's finding something that has some press aspect to it. You got to figure it out from their perspective. What is it that you can do or provide, whether it's an event or some sort of giving back, and then you got to put together a press release, and then that press release has to be distributed to the proper people, and then there's some consistency with it, and then some relationship building with it, and then you get a phone call or several, and then they're like, we want to have you on, and then there you go.
Yeah, so it sounds like that the beginning stages of it maybe not too hard for a business owner, but like kind of the execution of it like might be kind of challenging for some business owners, especially with how busy they are. So like writing the press release, getting it to the media, that they might need an expert for that.
So just give me a call. We can help you out because that's what we do.
Ashley can help you, Serena can help you, I can help you. Like all three of us are experts in our field. We certainly can help you market your business.
Yeah.
Definitely reach out to us. We would love to help you. And all about, it's not just about marketing your business. It's about like this lifestyle that we're talking about like being an entrepreneur and getting yourself out the door, like, pulling yourself up and making yourself into something. Like we love that. We're passionate about that. And it's not just marketing. So I love that concept. Let's talk a little bit more about what our goals are this year. Like what are the goals in Vegas? Do you guys see anything down the road? And what should business owners be looking to be involved in and what they should be doing, especially as we're in the fourth quarter now as it closes out. What do you guys think here in Vegas is like really important? Like one thing that's coming up for me that I'm excited about is CES. Yeah. Like I love events. I know Ashley, you're really clicked into the trade shows. So like should business owners be clicking into trade shows? Should they be going to those? Yeah. Should they have a presence there?
It's funny that you say that because actually, so I listened to this girl called Cody Sanchez, and she talks a lot about boring businesses. And to be honest, if you think about it though, like she's right. Like let's say somebody like there's a guy she was talking about who owns a trucking company, and now this guy's probably like 26, 27, and he started just buying off one truck, and and it's interesting because me being understanding trade show and how that works, it can be boring businesses that we work with, our vendors and this and that, but these boring businesses make money. And
they're necessities,
And the thing is, some of these boring businesses are recession proof. It doesn't really matter what, and see, this is something that I think that a lot of people need to understand. It doesn't matter what is going on in the world around them, and this is something that always irritated me about, like, when I heard people say, oh, I'm not doing good because of this and that, or, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you know that, money exists, it's there. So if you can find, like, something, whether it's boring or not, but if you can find a way to be an investor or be, you know, part of something, here in Vegas, I mean, what are the needs of people, right? So right now we're dealing with a couple crises when it comes to maybe like mead, water. What could be solutions to these upcoming needs that are going to happen?
Yes.
If you look at, like, if you really pay attention to like those little things, and how can you provide a service or assistance to fix those things, you know?
Yes.
It's something as simple as just paying attention.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it just makes my brain like spark ideas. Like, you know, if we do have a water shortage, we have a water issue. Like, what if you do, like, you know, every soap purchase is going to give back $1 towards, you know, water issue users. It's going to help our water, you know, like tie yourself into a social cause that's going on. You know what I mean? Like that goes to what you're talking about with the press. Like,
well, yeah, that's exactly what we did. Yeah. We actually put on a whole event all about the water. We brought in the expert, got the information from the horse's mouth, and I'm pleased to announce to everybody that we actually are not going to run out of water, okay? It looks like it. They want to scare you. The media can be our best friend and, unfortunately, a fear enemy, okay? So, yeah, the media, we want to get in the media to get our businesses promoted if we possibly can, right? But we also have to remember the media wants views, and they want to scare people as much as they possibly can. And, yes, the lines are going down, but guess what? This planet has, I think 78% water. And guess what? There's actually technology that can convert ocean water to regular water. And guess what? There's actually a lot of other drinking water and water they already have plans to execute, and we're going to be all right. We're going to be okay. But we did a full event. It was completely packed. It was fantastic. She's from the actual water division herself and explained how they already have a plan in place. So, yeah, you gotta pay attention and see. We picked up on that and we took action, and it was huge. A lot of people really enjoyed it. So, yeah, the media can be good, but try not to get into too much fear, and get the facts. Get the facts from the experts.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's like you got to remember too, like, that people can tell you whatever they want, but at the end, it's like this world, our resources are not finite, regardless of what anybody says.
Right.
And if you do your research and you stop listening to, you know, whoever you want, and you actually research on your own, you realize those things. So same thing. It's like somebody can tell you, a recession's coming and you're not going to have money. And if that's already in your head and you're listening to that, you're going to be freaking out right now.
Yes.
But if you actually think, okay, Trader Joe's, for me, for example, Trader Joe's actually became Trader Joe's during one of the worst recessions in, 2008 or something. So that's where money actually still exists. It's still there. You just gotta
most millionaires. Most millionaires are born in recessions.
No, I think, and this is a great concept. And you mentioned it. Like, what are the concepts or the ideologies that people have around money, and like what's important to be successful with money? What is an abundance philosophy?
Abundance mindset.
Yeah, mindset. How does that work?
It's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I actually did a little market test on this. So I posted something. I do have a lot of people that follow me that are business owners, that are CEOs, that are, you know, workers pretty much kind of thing. So it's interesting because every time I post about anything in relation to money, the people that actually look at that post and that follow it are only CEOs, business owners, COOs, people that are in high positions. And it's interesting because LinkedIn will tell you all those things, right? So I posted something in regards to the belief behind money. So we all have a different belief. I was having a conversation with a friend, and she said to me, you know, she's a girl who has a master's degree. She's a super smart girl, but she's never made more money than me. Never. And she's 2 years older than me, right? And I told her, you know, it's about beliefs. And she goes, because she said to me, you know, life is expensive. And I go, no, it's not. And she goes, you're right, it's not.
It's a limiting belief. Yes.
She goes, to you it's not expensive. And she's like, to me it is. And I'm like, but you see what I mean, right? Like, it's simple. Like, I don't have a master's degree. I mean, I have the credits of a bachelor, but I don't think that is actually, because that's what people want you to believe. They want you to believe that if you go to school and you get your super high degree, that you can make X amount of money, or, you know, being a doctor, whatever. But there's other ways to make millions in a year. And we know people that do
Yes.
that. You know, we've seen it. People
Yes.
who may not have spent hundreds of thousands in education found out ways to do it. So it's about the belief behind that money. And again, money, just like energy, it's something that can be created.
Right.
Because, you know, I mean, they invented money to begin with, so.
Money is energy. It's currency. Currency is
Exactly.
energy.
Yes.
Just like anything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And how are you
Always.
contextualizing it in your life?
Yeah.
Like, what is your belief system in your life? Your
Yes.
fundamental belief? Are you looking at that coffee and you're going, oh, can I buy that coffee? Or you're like, nah, it's like, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
The money's coming. The money
Yeah.
comes. The money comes. And like, you're
Money
not.
goes, money comes, right?
Exactly. It's flow. It's energy. And like, I think there's a lot to be said about like letting go of the attachment to money. Because like, I feel like the more tighter that you try to grip it, the more it may try to run away from you. So like the flow has a lot to do with like, how are you believing that things are coming into you? If you really truly believe that things are going to be okay and everything's going to be great, and you're not obsessing about worrying about paying this or paying that, the universe responds to that.
Yes.
And it's like there's more opportunity. So it's very philosophical what I'm talking about, but ultimately you have to believe that you are worth it and you deserve it, and the money will come for you, and people, they're getting a great deal. Whatever they're buying from you, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Raise your price, and it's still a great deal.
That's dang straight. And I do want to just say, just to bring a little bit of grounding to the conversation, because it can be a little bit in the clouds,
Sure.
is that as a business owner, you do need to keep track of your finances.
Yeah.
You know, when you start committing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month, you have employees, you have a space, you have insurance and taxes and all these things. Yeah, money keeps flowing, this, that, and the third. But if you do start seeing a downtick, you better use your freaking mind and start slowing your spending.
Right.
You know, and there's no doubt about that. And it's not fun. I mean, we experienced that in the real estate industry this year, where, I mean, we were just going gangbusters, and then all of a sudden the interest rates went way up, tons of deals fell apart, nothing sticking, everything is just a complete, you know, crapshoot. And yeah, I had to take a few months and go, holy cow, like I'm not seeing experience this. And yeah, I'm a believer in manifestation, and I've done extremely well in real estate. But there were
Yeah,
a few
be
months
cautious.
where I had to say, okay, I'm not going to spend money on that. Oh, I'm going to pull back on that. I'm going to discontinue those services. I'm going to pare down this and that. And that's just being a wise, strategic person.
But you do it
So
without fear.
do it without fear, but the fear might come in. It might look at you, and you might be like, holy shit, am I going to lose everything? Am I going to, oh my God, like.
It's a natural human. It's a natural
yeah.
human. Yeah, it's a natural human reaction.
There's
Yeah.
just well-rounded conversation here, because we don't want to be too high in the sky of clouds of just like, this and that. Like, things are going to come up, and sometimes it's when those things happen is when you're going to get shot to the next level if you can make it and do it the
Absolutely.
right way.
And have a good bookkeeper, have a good accountant, have all those things lined out. Make sure that you're doing everything properly like that.
Yeah.
Because it's the more structure that you put in your business, the more successful you will be, and the less you have to sit up worrying about it late at night.
You don't have to be the smartest person, but you can hire the smartest person.
This is
Yeah.
so true.
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Yes. You know, they put the right people in the right seats on the bus, and you will get to your destination. I think
Or
that's
even
really
just connections, you know, at the end of the day, if you can create those, like, the best connections and the best, that you never know what that can get you, because if you can bring value, so can someone else, but being open to that.
100%.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, and as far as like just giving back to the community, being involved in different groups, nonprofits, or networking groups, I think that's super, super crucial too as well. So I encourage anyone who's starting a new business, I love networking groups. I'm part of BNI. Actually, they just got voted in as the president of the new BNI. So to me, it's about being a part of somewhere where your business is on rails.
Yeah.
Because like you will get business out of that. Like you will definitely get business, and you will get a return on your investment. Usually it's like a 5x, 10x, or it could be even more than that, depending on your type of business. So I really encourage that. You could check out BNI if you like that type of a networking group. Is more like less formal networking groups. But so let's look at wrapping this up. Let's talk a little bit about our businesses, how we can be contacted. Ashley, you want to start and tell us a little about you, your business, and where they can find you?
So I don't think I only spoke about like the neon signs, all that stuff, but you know, I do anything, whether it's like, you know, for a home, if you need actual plants like set up and decor to make it look pretty, I can do that for you. Whether you need a big ass flower wall for your, you know, I've seen a lot of like selfie studios, this and that, you know, I got you. I can create the whole thing. If you need LEDs, I work with a lot of trade show companies because I have that background. So if I can get, I've worked recently I made a sign for Reebok. So we did, it was actually Sappos with Reebok. So we did like their neon sign, we did some LED lighting. I do custom colors, like anything custom that people need. Sometimes you just need something very specific. I got you, it's, I love light. And see, for me, my thing was, how can I light up your life?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what am I offering as a service, not only to make it beautiful, but if I love light. I mean, we all love light. I hate being in darkness. I hate being in a place that's super moody. And so if you have the right lighting, like, that's everything.
Yes, it's so killer.
So that's my question for everybody. How can I light up your life? And for me, you can contact me through, I just started, so I'm still getting worked on my website, but Instagram, call, email, whatever the case may be. I will have all my details. I don't know if you guys need me to say it right now, but
That's cool. We can put it in the description.
All right,
check
we'll
the
put it
description.
there you go.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I own Royal Realty and Royal Marketing. So Royal Realty, broker, residential, commercial, investment properties. We got a team for each one of those divisions. And then Royal Marketing, we help people make them the kings and queens of their real estate or of their industry. Sorry, my brain is a little tongue-tied. And we really specialize in videos. That is where it's at. The TikTok style videos, the user generated content videos. People are more of an organic type of stream these days. So less all produced and perfect and polished, and a little bit more organic. And so that's what we've been doing for business owners. Love it. Love being on video, producing content. I think that's where it's at. Content is king and is extremely important in any business.
Yes.
So I believe any business owner or anyone that's starting any project, if they're not comfortable doing it, you better find somebody else who is.
Do it.
And if you're uncomfortable with it, join a Toastmasters. It's all about public speaking and leadership skills, and fine-tune your ability to speak and articulate and get comfortable being able to talk, because that's what you're going to need to do in this day and age.
It's so true.
You can find me on Instagram. Serena.Anderson.broker is my main account, and royalrealty.co and royalmarketingservices.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Serena.
Yeah.
This has been great. I'm Jophiel with SkyPoint Studios. We're a web design agency. We've been around for 10 years. We serve the Las Vegas market. We serve the whole world, but we've been focused in the Billings market as well. We have the #1 agency in Billings, Montana. If you put in web design in Google, that's our claim to fame. So we love building websites. We love helping people market online. We can do your SEO, and we can build mobile applications in both the iTunes and the Google Play Store. So if you're looking for those services, hit me up. You can definitely find my contact in the description. But this has been the 0 to 100 real quick marketing podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to have other business owners on. We're definitely going to have Ashley back. We're definitely going to have Serena back. We're going to be bringing in other business owners from Vegas so you can hear their story, and we're going to help them live here on the podcast. We're actually going to dig into their business, and we're going to get it all done. So they're going to be rocking by the time the podcast is done. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.